Alright guys, so our stretching warm-up for the week. We're first going to start with breathing. Okay, so like Scott explained earlier, how we're doing our 30 minutes of breathing is going to be the same idea, right? So we're going to start by taking a big breath into the nose, filling up the stomach like a balloon, 3-second inhale, and then 5-6-second exhale. Slowly breathing out, allowing the ribs to collapse, trying to take away the space between the back and the floor. Okay, so again, we just want to focus on breathing in through the stomach, piercing your lips together as you blow out, right, like you're blowing through a straw or some birthday candles. Now we're going to do that for 5 reps. Okay. Good. So after 5, we're going to get into our 90-90 position. Okay. Work on some hip stretching here. Okay, so making sure that our legs are exactly at 90 degrees. If you need a check, the front part of your, or the bottom part of your front foot is in line with your back shin. Then we're going to start focusing on the front leg. Hands on either side of the front leg. Sitting up nice and tall, back is flat. He's going to start by pressing the front knee down into the floor and then pulling himself forward with that front leg, right? So there's tension into the ground and then pulling him forward. You should feel it in the back of this front leg, maybe in the butt area, okay, back of the hip. And breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, right? So actively pulling yourself forward. We're going to do that for about 30 seconds, right? Or 6 slow breaths, right? 3-second inhale, 5-second exhale. All right, and after about 6 full breaths, we're going to rotate our bodies to face the back leg, right? If we can reach down, grabbing the shin and the leg, we want to do that, trying to pull our back shoulder closest to our shin back there. Okay, and same idea, we're going to press that back knee down into the floor, feeling nice activation in that rear hip. Okay, if it's too much to reach down, like you did before, you can have your hands behind the back, making sure we're keeping a nice, tall chest here. Okay, and same idea, we're going to do that for about 6 breaths, nice and slow, or 30 seconds. Okay, and after that, we will switch sides and do the same thing on the opposite leg. Okay, right, again, making sure bottom part of our foot is in line with our shin. Hands are on either side of the front leg, sitting up nice and tall, flat back, pushing that front knee down into the ground, and then using that pressure to pull ourselves forward. Okay, feeling it behind the front hip here. Okay, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and pulling, pulling, pulling. Right, you got to actually do something by pulling yourself into the stretch. Otherwise, it's not going to work too well. After about 6 breaths, we're going to rotate away again, trying to bring this back shoulder to this back shin, and again pushing the knee down into the floor, trying to pull yourself in towards the stretch, right? Notice different hand positions if you're more advanced. If you are not, that's totally fine. Just keep your hands behind you and rotate your upper body towards your back leg. Okay, so that's 90-90. After that, we're going to get into adductor rocks. Okay, so knees starting nice and wide. We want to feel a stretch on both sides. Then we're going to get one foot out. Pinky toes flat, knee is locked out. From here, he's going to take a breath in, breath out, push through the hands, sitting back towards the heel. Notice maintaining a flat back position. Okay, and then once you feel that stretch, you're going to rock forward a little bit, release. Take another breath in, another breath out, rotate back. Right, so you should feel a stretch on this inside leg and on the other straight leg. Okay, both adductors are working here. And we're going to do that for about 5 reps, and then switch sides. Same thing, legs start nice and wide. Okay, pinky toes flat, knee is straight. Just push it back through the hands. Notice how his back is flat. He's not rounded. He's not arched. Okay, trying to maintain good positioning as you do it so you feel the stretch in the specific areas of the adductors which we want. Good. After that, we're going to go into T-spine rotations, sitting on the heels as far back as we can. So the whole time you're doing this, we want to try to push back towards our heels, elbows are on the ground. One arm is going to grab the opposite lat or the rib as far up as you can. And you're going to take a big breath into the nose. You're going to rotate up to the side where the arm is across. Exhaling as you do so, looking up to the ceiling, holding, inhaling, come back down nice and slow, right? We want this to be like a 5-second rotation. So breath in, breath out. He's pushing through the hand, pushing back, and rotating himself up through this down arm. Okay? And do that for 5 breaths, each side, nice and slow, nice and controlled. And then same thing on the other side, right? Reaching all the way across, reaching up as high as you can, pressing through the ground here. Big breath in, exhale as he rotates up, and he's trying to drive back. Notice also toes are tucked underneath. It's one way to get an extra toe stretch in there. If that is too uncomfortable, you can point your toes and sit on your heels as well. Both work. It's probably even better to get both stretches in there as you do it, okay? Good. Last one, Spider-Man stretch, okay? So from a push-up position or a split squat, hands are going to go, or legs are going to go outside the hands, okay? Digging the back toe into the ground. We're going to use that back toe to drive our hip down towards the floor, okay? Feeling a nice stretch on this rear hip. Then that other hand, we're going to drive the knee out with the elbow here. So feeling a squat-specific stretch on that front leg, hip extension stretch on the back leg, okay? So actively driving your foot down, rocking in and out with that front leg. Same thing, breathing in, breathing out for 5 long breaths, okay? Each side. Okay, and same thing, back to a push-up position. One foot goes outside the hand, digging the back toe into the ground. Using that back toe to drive your hip towards the floor, okay? Taking the elbow, pressing the knee out past the pinky toe here. Okay, feeling a good stretch on this side, feeling a good stretch on that front hip on the opposite side. Okay, for 5 breaths here. And those are your stretches for today.